Hi, today I'm going to give you a few tips on preparing for a job interview. And the job interview is kind of our culminating activity after you have created your resume and you have filled out your job application. And hopefully your resume and your job application were able to help you secure a job interview where you get that face-to-face meeting with your potential employer. So let's begin. Here are some basic suggestions for job interview success. First, plan what you are going to wear to the interview. You want to dress the part of someone who is successful in your chosen career, whatever that career happens to be. Make sure it is appropriate for the work environment. So what you wear is actually based upon where you are planning on working. Our rule of thumb is to dress just a little bit better than you would on a regular day at work. So if your potential job is going to be in the area of construction, it's perfectly okay to wear your work boots and your jeans and a shirt that would be appropriate for the job. If your potential job is in an office or in a bank or in an educational institution, then you would want to dress a little bit better than a normal workday outfit. So plan ahead. What would you wear on a regular day at work? It's going to depend upon where you are applying. When you arrive at the location for your job interview, be sure and arrive a little bit early. You want to be sure that you know exactly where you're going. You want to be sure that you are demonstrating punctuality, and that is kind of showing that employer that you will arrive to work on time. So be on time, be a little bit early. And when you greet your interviewer, greet them with a handshake. And if handshaking isn't something that you normally do, if it's something you're not comfortable doing, then practice beforehand. Practice with a friend, practice with a family member, but be able to give a nice firm handshake and greet them with a smile. A warm smile goes a long way in helping to show that you are happy to be there. Wait to be seated. The interviewer is going to indicate where they would like you to sit, and be seated only after they indicate where they would like for you to sit. Sit up straight and lean slightly forward during the interview. This shows that you are paying attention and that you are interested. You don't want to appear that you are just kind of lounging back in the chair with a I don't care sort of attitude. Make regular eye contact during your interview. Don't stare them down, but make appropriate eye contact as you're talking to them. Eye contact shows that you are being truthful and honest. The lack of eye contact can display maybe uneasiness or maybe not being quite as truthful as you should be. So if making good eye contact isn't something that you feel that you're good at, then that might be something you need to practice beforehand as well. Show energy and enthusiasm through your tone of voice. Show that you are interested in that job by the way in which you speak. Now, it's always a good idea to research that target job before the interview so that you can answer this question: why do you want to work for us? And I have found that that's a very typical question. Employers are proud of their store or their company or their work site, and they want to hire employees that are going to be proud to be there as well. Why do you want to work there? Know what it is that they manufacture or distribute or sell, or the services that they provide, so that you can have an appropriate answer prepared. Saying that you want to work there just for the money is not an appropriate answer. Everyone has to work for the money. You want to work there for reasons other than just money, and you might need to prepare that answer ahead of time. Listen carefully to each question and ask for clarification if you're unsure what the interviewer is getting at. It is okay for you to ask questions. The interviewer will expect you to ask questions as well. Research typical job questions. You can do this online and you will find dozens and dozens of potential job interview questions. An interviewer is not going to ask all of them, but check out the list and see if there are questions on there that you might find difficult to answer, and then you can prepare for that. Follow up the interview with an email, a card, or a letter thanking them for their time, and this lets them know that you are interested in their job and that you were very appreciative of the time that they devoted to you. In talking with interviewers across our state, I've learned that interviewers really appreciate that little thank you card or that little thank you email, telling them that they appreciated the time and effort that was put into their interview. It makes you stand out a little bit better or stand out above the other people that were interviewed that did not send that thank you card. So keep that in mind. A thank you goes a long ways. Here are some tips on things that you should avoid doing during the interview. So let's kind of run down through the list real quickly. First, don't criticize a previous employer or coworker or a supervisor. It makes you look bad rather than them because you're talking badly about someone else, and that's never a good thing. So don't criticize a previous employer. Don't make false statements about your abilities or your experience or your education. The truth will always come out in the end. So don't make false statements about yourself or about your education levels. Don't share any weaknesses that are central to your target job unless you're specifically asked. Don't share weaknesses about yourself unless you are specifically asked about them. Don't act like a know-it-all. Everyone has things that can be learned, and we all are lifelong learners. So be sure that you don't come across as that know-it-all type of person. Do not take your cell phone into the interview. Leave it in the car. Leave it at home. Leave it outside of that interview room. If you do have to take your phone in with you, turn it off. Silence it. The worst thing that can happen is for your cell phone to ring or a text to be received during a job interview, and you definitely do not want to have it in your hand. It should be out of sight, turned off. And don't arrive late. If you do happen to have to be late because of a problem that arose, call and advise the interviewer of the situation and explain to them why you are late. Maybe you got stuck in traffic or you had car problems. It's better to let them know that you're going to be late than to just arrive late without giving them warning. Here are 3 basic job interview questions that everyone should be able to answer. And they are, tell me about yourself. The interviewer is giving you this opportunity to relax a little bit. Tell about yourself. Tell about your skills, your abilities, your educational background. Tell about the things that you could bring to that job that would be beneficial for that company. Tell about your greatest weakness. Your greatest weakness should be something that can potentially be turned around and be a positive aspect rather than a negative. And think about your greatest strength. What strength would you be able to bring to that company that would be of great benefit to them? And that makes you stand out as a person that they should hire if you have abilities and strengths that would benefit the company as a whole. I hope that my basic job interview tips have been a little bit helpful to you, and that when you get ready for your next interview, that it goes great for you and that you are prepared. Thank you.